The shimmering vortex spat Carol Vorderman out behind a stack of iron brew crates in a Glasgow bottling plant. The air hung thick with the sickly sweet tang of Scotland's other national drink, a far cry from the meticulously curated air of her Cambridge study. She smoothed down her, rather futuristic, even by her standards, jumpsuit, a garment she'd hoped would blend in with the local fashion scene, though she suspected it was a bit too Space 1999 for even the most adventurous Glaswegian. Her mission: infiltrate the Scottish television studios in 1978 and subtly alter the programming schedule to include a groundbreaking maths education show for children. Her reasoning? A statistically significant improvement in numeracy rates would, according to her calculations, prevent the rise of a particularly annoying TikTok trend in 2047 involving badly sung quadratic equations. The fate of the future, apparently, rested on her shoulders. But the 70s were proving distracting. The sheer volume of tartan, the hypnotic rhythm of the Bay City Rollers blasting from every transistor radio, and the surprisingly sensual lure of a deep-fried Mars bar were all conspiring against her. She'd already spent an embarrassing hour trying to decipher a bingo caller's patter, convinced it was some sophisticated code. She located the STV studios, a brutalist concrete monstrosity that looked like it had been designed by a particularly grumpy Dalek. Inside, the air was thick with cigarette smoke and the palpable tension of a newsroom about to miss a deadline. She'd planned to use her 22nd century charm to seduce the head of programming, a Mr. Angus McTavish, but the reality was somewhat less glamorous. Mr. McTavish was a balding man in a brown tweed suit, perpetually clutching a mug of tea and looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Carol, however, was nothing if not adaptable. She feigned a damsel in distress act, claiming to be a visiting academic from Oxford, hopelessly lost and desperately seeking guidance on the fascinating cultural phenomenon that is Scottish television. McTavish, flattered by the attention, puffed out his chest and launched into a rambling monologue about the merits of Taggart, which hadn't even been conceived yet, she noted with amusement. As he droned on, Carol subtly slipped a USB drive, disguised as a tartan brooch, naturally, into his tea. It contained a subliminal messaging program designed to plant the idea of a maths show directly into his subconscious. As she left the studio, the strains of Shang-a-Lang followed her into the Glasgow night. She couldn't be sure if her plan had worked, but one thing was certain. She needed a deep-fried Mars bar. And maybe a new jumpsuit. This one was starting to smell faintly of iron brew. The future, she realised, was going to be a lot more calorific than she'd anticipated.